We have all heard the stories of artists doing some crazy things when they're intoxicated, like trashing hotel property or driving recklessly through the streets. Recently, Travis Scott was arrested for his actions during a drunken night when he made himself look like a fool. It's common for celebrities to be loaded up on all types of substances, which sometimes lead to undesirable actions that they have to deal with the next day. While usually whatever the artists have done is most likely forgotten after the first few days, what this Wu-Tang rapper did one night while intoxicated changed his life forever, as he chose to chop off his manhood. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos every other day exposing the truth. In today's episode, we will be talking about the reason this Wu-Tang rapper chopped off his manhood. Let's get right into it. We have all heard the countless wild stories of what these artists do while under the influence, but what this Wu-Tang affiliated rapper Christ Bearer did was something no one will ever forget. Some of you might have heard the story of Andre Johnson, who went by the blasphemous stage name Christ Bearer. He was a part of a rap group called the North Star, which was signed directly by the Wu-Tang Clan founder Rizza. He was an artist and had many songs on big Wu-Tang projects. Although he was in the industry, Andre is not remembered as a famous rapper, but instead, he became famous for what he did one dreadful night 10 years ago. Today, those that know Andre know him as the man who snapped one day and decided to chop off his own manhood. This is one of the wildest stories in the music industry, and in today's episode, I will tell that story and reveal some details that explain exactly why Andre chose to chop it off. Everything changed for Andre Johnson back on April 16, 2014, when he made a decision that just about everybody would agree with is insane. According to reports, Andre was chilling at an apartment, hanging out at a party that was taking place. Andre claims that at a certain point during the party, Rizza showed up, and according to Andre, they began using PCP amongst other substances. Rizza would eventually leave the party, and that's when things went south. Andre ended up in a room watching cartoons when out of nowhere, he claims he started to feel like he was in a cartoon. At the time, Andre was dealing with problems he was facing with several baby mothers who had put restraining orders on him and wouldn't allow him to see his children. Andre, off the substances, started having some twisted thoughts, and this is when he got the disturbing idea of getting rid of his own manhood. He figured this was the only solution to solve his problems, thinking that if he got rid of what got him in this mess to begin with, he wouldn't have to deal with that problem ever again. This is when Andre headed over to the kitchen, grabbed a knife, and went to work chopping off his manhood right in the middle of the party. Out of nowhere, realizing what he had just done, he decided to leap off the second-story balcony. Luckily for him, surviving the fall. Those at the party immediately called 911 when they realized what just had happened. This was the actual 911 call made by his friends at the party.
I have a friend that was over here and he just lit up. Damn, when he's talking this noise right now, we don't know if he's alive or not.
He in the car just jumped off.
Yeah, like second floor. God damn, I don't believe this shit. Hey, he cut his... You gotta come up here and cut his damn penis.
Sir, who are you talking to?
Penis off. I'm on the phone with 911.
When the police arrived, they eventually called the ambulance and he was taken to the hospital, but unfortunately for him, they weren't able to reattach his manhood back together. After the news hit the media, it was over for Andre, as everyone took shots at him, and there was no chance he would ever be a rapper then. He made it on to TMZ as they ridiculed him for what he had done. He also made it on The Breakfast Club, where he was given the donkey of the day. Andre was a laughingstock, and when he went on Vlad TV to tell his story, he told Vlad that he was proud of what he did. This is one of the most wildest hip-hop stories on the internet. I remember when I first heard it years back, I was so shocked. I thought to myself that many people take all types of substances on the daily, and I never hear about them cutting off their own junk. This story stuck out to me, and it made me want to look into it more. There was obviously something dark about this entire story, and I wanted to find out what it was, so I started digging. While I was researching Andre, I came across his Vlad TV interview, where he said something rather interesting that put everything into perspective for me. Vlad asked Andre what led up to that dreadful day he decided to chop his manhood off, and what he said explained it all to me. He told Vlad that days before he did the unthinkable act, he was studying the infamous occultist Aleister Crowley. Now, I'm gonna try to play the clip, but if I can't, it's because Vlad copyright claimed the footage.
Somebody study people like Max Flint, Nasir Muhammad, just really deep. Aleister Crowley, Aleister Crowley. Extreme characters,
Andre admits openly he was studying the infamous occultist Aleister Crowley. By studying, he is obviously referring to reading his ritual books like the Book of the Law and his book of spells. When I saw this, I instantly knew it was more to the story, and it wasn't because of not being able to see his children. What this tells us is that Andre was an occultist who was into ritual magic. That's what Crowley taught and what he was all about. Crowley is only really known by occultists, as the average person has no idea who he is. Whatever Andre did that night was connected to the occult and Crowley's teachings. This became even more obvious the more I looked into him. In another interview he did, he tells us what led him to begin taking all of those substances. He explains that the moment he signed his record deal with Wu-Tang Clan, his mother ends up passing away right after.
I was sick. She was having epilepsy at the time. She had one night, man, I was on the phone with my producer, and I got her head boy knocking. I'm like, yo, what the f? I just called 911. 911 just come, I'm trying to do what I'm doing. And then when they get there, he starts breathing. You know? I was like, yeah, I didn't know what, you know what I mean? And she passed. It was kind of like, shit, you know what? I was like, in a bottomless vortex. You know what I'm saying? A bottomless vortex, really. I was not into rap at all. Like, what the hell?
As you heard for yourself, he called this the turning point when he started to take all those substances. This is very important, as this is what he tells us led up to that day. Now, the timing of his mother passing away was very interesting to me, as we are always hearing of celebrities losing a loved one once they get signed or make it big in the industry. This is what most people nowadays call an industry sacrifice. This has been rumored to be the dark price for success for years. A rumor that Kanye himself confirmed in an interview that I won't be playing now because I've already shown it many times on this channel. Kanye admits that his mother was a sacrifice, and then he calls out other celebrities who lost a loved one before leveling up in their career. People called out Gilly when he recently lost his son, and he got a massive $100 million deal right before it. He signs this deal, and not long after, he seems to lose a loved one, what Hassan Campbell believes was a sacrifice.
Look how fast life goes on. Did y'all watch the video? I didn't have enough time to get the video. Go find the video where Gilly and Wallow signed a check for the $100 million. Why was Gilly crying like that? Why was he crying like somebody just died? When he signed that check for $100 million, Gilly wasn't crying like, I'm happy, yo, we made it. He was crying like somebody died. I dare you to find the video. I'm gonna say it again. When he cried like somebody died. You ever seen somebody get a $100 million check and cry like somebody passed away? Come on, man. I didn't come here to apologize to y'all, to them, since it's about timing, since they back to partying. I'm not coming with disrespect towards them. I'm coming with the truth. If you don't like it, log out.
The fact he signed to Wu-Tang Clan also tells us a lot. Rizza is a devout occultist, and he has shown it in his music since the beginning of his career. Now, Rizza and the Wu-Tang Clan is a topic for a different conversation, so if you want to see a video about Rizza, let me know below. The fact that Andre signed to Rizza, and then not long after he loses his mother, to me, it seems like a ritual sacrifice. Now, if we add this with the fact that Andre claims Rizza was there at the party right before he cut his manhood off, that seems quite suspicious to me. When Rizza was asked about his artist doing this, he was quoted saying in an interview, "What he did is incredible. That ass sounds mystical. I feel sorry for his family first and foremost. I know he has children. I thought he was a smarter guy than a guy who would do something crazy like that. But at the same time, he's been in jail recently. He's been in trouble. Maybe he's mentally unstable." What caught my attention the most about this statement was Rizza calling the incident incredible and mystical. This is the last reaction I would expect anyone sane to say about someone cutting their junk off. How is that incredible in any way? Mystical, on the other hand, explains exactly what it was. See, Aleister Crowley considered himself an occultist and a mystic. He practiced mysticism, which is a form of ancient occult magic. Mystical comes directly from the word mysticism, and Rizza was basically admitting what this man did was an occult ritual. Andre is an occultist, and he shows us this himself. We see proof of this with his name and his crew name. See, like many occultists believe and like Aleister Crowley taught, Andre believes he is a god. This is why he called himself Christ bearer. His name not only mocked Christ, but it was a nod to Lucifer. As occultists see Lucifer as the god of light, or what they call Lucifer the light bearer. So not only is Andre calling himself Jesus, but he also is comparing himself to Lucifer. Looking deeper, his crew was called the North Star. This might not mean nothing to you, but to the Freemasons that means a whole lot. One of the most common Masonic symbols found at every lodge is the Morning Star, or what they call the North Star, just like Andre's rap group was called. Like Andre said, he was studying Aleister Crowley. He was deep into the occult. This is why I believe he was signed to Wu-Tang Clan. Wu-Tang has always been connected to the occult since the beginning of their career. They also pushed the do-it-thou-wilt religion through their music. Even after Andre cut off his manhood, the Wu-Tang Clan still ended up collaborating with him on music, as in 2020, he actually was featured on some Wu-Tang music. Even though Andre never became famous and took his own junk off, they still worked with him. That shows you it's more than music. Andre took the oath. What I really believe happened to Andre was that he went on a dark path trying to make it in the industry. He wanted the world, so he sold his soul to have it. It appears that he was forced to make an offering, which ended up being his own mother. When he lost his mother, it drove him mad and eventually made him want to no longer be around. This is when he did what he did. He tells us this himself as he made it clear his mother passed right after he signed his deal, and that's when everything went dark. This entire situation reminded me of a song by Immortal Technique called Dance with the Devil. The song tells the story of a man who wants to make it to the top in the streets. In order for him to get down with the top dealers in his area, he was forced to make a sacrifice, which he didn't know was going to be his own mother. By the end of the song, he's made to take out his own mom. And when he realized what he did, he couldn't live with himself, and he ends up ending it all. This is what I believe Andre was doing. He couldn't live with the hurt, so he did what he did, but it didn't end. He couldn't escape the reality he had created for himself. Now he's soulless, motherless, and manhoodless. Like Immortal Technique said, a dance with the devil might last you forever. That's exactly what Andre is dealing with, sadly. This is why we must stay close to God and far away from the enemy, as the devil would take any moment he sees you vulnerable to devour you. These occultists believe Lucifer is their ally. They dedicate their lives to him because of what he offers. This fools people into thinking Lucifer's on their side, when Lucifer's only on the side of evil and rebellion against God. He knows his outcome is set in stone, and he wants to try to hurt God by guiding as many souls away from him as possible. Sadly, he has been succeeding as many souls have abandoned God. To imagine what Andre did is almost impossible, as I can't even think of something so wicked. This lets you know that he was being influenced by whatever he was studying taught by Crowley. People don't understand how much power music has. It has more influence than anything else, including politics. This is why politicians are going to rappers to endorse their campaign. Music has a lot of power, and that's why I dedicate so much of my time to exposing it. This rapper that many people listen to dedicated his life to serving Lucifer in the occult and was pushing his poison to the world. We must help others see what these rap stars really are and what they have done for fame. Well, I'm gonna end this one here, but before you guys go, I just wanted to remind you to make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on so you don't miss any new content. For those who want to further support what I do, consider joining the Patreon. For $3 a month, you get access to a library of over 28 exclusive uncensored videos that are not available here on YouTube. I am also about to post a new exclusive video about a police officer who discovered an elite satanic cult in New York City. If you want to join and further support the channel, the link is in the description. You can also further support the channel by buying a Truthist t-shirt. I just recently had these designs made, so if you want to support, check out the store. You can find the link to the store in the description as well. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.